Is brought to you by Kalshi. Make real money predicting sports. Kalshi is available in all 50 states, and you can get $20 free with promo code SGPN. That's Kalshi, promo code SGPN. March is here, and SGPN is giving away $25,000 in Survivor Madness. Winner take all, one person will take home $25K. SportsGamblingPodcast.com/survivor. That's SportsGamblingPodcast.com/survivor. New Splash customers can get $5 free with code SGPN. So go to Splash Sports, use code SGPN to get $5 free in bonus entries. All right, we are live. We are back. Bay Hill, one of my favorite weeks of the year. Already talked about it earlier, but the Bay Hill poster here, the pin flag right here. Dom, I'm happy you're here again. Tell me a little bit about Bay Hill and as a golf course, as an event, and your history here.
Yeah, obviously one of the more difficult tracks that they'll play on the PGA Tour. You pointing out your stuff actually frustrates me because I have that Bay Hill hat that I wear every single year, and it didn't even cross my mind. Cross my mind.
I do. Yeah, that is a nice hat. You have that little the Arnold flag, right?
Yeah. Do I have to go get it?
Yeah, go get it. I'll talk for a little bit.
All right,
we get
talk
one
real
Bay Hill a
quick.
week. Yeah, I'll go through a little bit of the course notes while Dom retrieves his Bay Hill hat as he should. But yeah, this is a brutal test of long, thick, rough, firm, fast greens, and it's looking like we're going to be fairly dry the rest of the week. Tomorrow and maybe Thursday afternoon, a little bit of rain, but it's nothing more than like a spotty shower. So the last few years, Bay Hill has been firm and fast. They've diving into the carnage. Like when you have Arnold Palmer's name on an event, you don't want no bullshit -25. There he is.
All right.
The Bay Hill hat is here.
I got a haircut this weekend, so I was like, not gonna wear a hat, but I forgot about the Bay Hill hat. It's kind of a yearly thing, so it was necessary.
Yeah, so I basically went for a little rundown of the carnage at Bay Hill, long, thick, rough, what you need to do. Driving distance definitely helps here because it's just a long course. And I've noted in my other show that 7 of the last 9 winners really spiked in driving distance coming into the week. They didn't necessarily do it with driving distance in a given week, but it's guys that are generally longer that play well around Bay Hill. So is there anything else you want to add to Bay Hill this week?
No, I think and if anyone hasn't seen it, I don't know if you brought it up, but your Twitter thread each week has been great info to kind of everyone's building their own models and looking for different stats and looking for their kind of thing you have to build a model, obviously. So looking and seeing driving distance, how important it is. I think you hit it right on the head. Something that I wasn't really thinking about, but with the driving distance, I've also been looking at some of the shorter approaches.
Okay.
There's been some lead-in correlation from looking at Fantasy Golf Bag and proximity from 50 to 125 yards actually shows up on one of the stats for lead in here. So I kind of baked in 50 to 125 and then 100 to 125 as well. So obviously if your distance is up, you're going to find yourself probably in a lot more of these spots than you normally would. So yeah, just putting distance in there as a nice little tiebreaker to put in there. But then, yeah, you want guys who just have a complete game all the way around. I mean, you're looking for a complete game when the course is going to get difficult like it will this week. So bet good golfers.
Yeah, I mean, all of the winners have gained about a stroke and a half in each category at a minimum. So, like, it's that well-rounded game. We see guys win who are a little minus around the green, sometimes about even putting, or we've seen Chris Goddard win like almost even on approach with a great putter. We're not really getting that at Bay Hill. We're getting a complete full bag U.S. Open type test around Bay Hill. Let's get into the odds board. Scotty, Rory, Tommy, sub 20 to 1 on DraftKings. I'll say right now, I think this is the best chance that we've ever seen for a Scotty Rory duel on Sunday over the weekend. I genuinely do. So what's your thoughts on the top? What are your thoughts on that comment and how you approach in this top of the leaderboard?
The way I tweaked my model recently, actually, for past 24 rounds at least, had Rory 1, Scotty 2. So you saying that is funny to me just because everyone builds models every week. It's rare that you build one where Scotty and Rory are 1 and 2, regardless of how many rounds you're going. Obviously, 2 best players in the world, but I I don't doubt that one bit. I don't love the numbers. I'm probably taking them both on. Tommy stood out to me early, but the more I look through it and the number that we're given, I mean, if he was in the low 20s, I was going to bet him. We're just not getting that, unfortunately. So I'm not going to bet a 19 to 1 Tommy Fleetwood. But yeah, going back to your point, Scotty Rory 1-2. I could see it. I feel like we're due for a week like that.
Yeah, I mean, we've been due. We haven't seen them two like duel ever. Like we were close at Portrush last year, but Rory was a
Yeah.
little bit on the outside looking in, and Scotty was just ahead. Um, but like think about it. Last year, Scotty was injured. Like he had that hand thing, so it took him a while to like get going. The year before that, Scotty was cooking, just like doing everything well, and Rory took a while. And like, obviously last year, Rory was out the gates, Pebble players. He was in that form already. This was outside of last week. This was the last time Scotty didn't T10, Bay Hill T11 last year. So I think they're both. They're both not in midseason form yet, but I think they're as close as they've been at this point ever. So I really do think like I gotta check after like what the dual forecast is on Scotty Rory. But I remember at what's it called? Portrush, it was like 40 to 1. And I bet that. And I had a sweat on Sunday. So I might go back to it. It'd probably be like 25 to 1 this week. But Scotty Rory, and I did if you follow on my other site, I made a really small card for Riviera. I made like super low units invested because I was saving up for a Scotty week. Save the units and go heavier on Scotty. And this very well may be it. I obviously, as always, I'll be out there tomorrow to get the eyes on the guys, and hopefully I see some great things from Scotty. Because I'll be honest, sometimes I don't see great things from Scotty. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna take him on this week, and it's gone all right. So let's skip these two guys because I think we're both like
I'll say one more thing on Scotty. Obviously, he's won here 2 of the last 4 years, and the 2 times that he did win were the only 2 times in the past 5 years that he gained strokes putting. He lost over 5 strokes putting last year and still finished T11. I think the way that he's been putting even this year, I mean, he's gained almost 2 strokes in his last 5 events on the green. So if Scotty can show up with the irons and like put a first round together, yeah, I'd love to see your notes for what you see out there tomorrow.
Yeah, and I mean, if you look what he's doing right now, he surely is putting well, and he's literally like a top 10 putter in the world nowadays. Like he's figured that out. So
yeah,
but also like I don't care about the Thursday thing at all. Like I'm seeing a lot of like, oh, Scotty can just play on Thursday. He led PGA Tour 2025 in round 1 scoring. He's played 16 rounds of golf in 2026. 3 of them were bad. They just happened to be on Thursday. If one was on a Friday, one was on a Saturday, everyone would have been like, oh my God, Scotty, like T4, T11 win to start the year. What a season he's got going. But now it's like, oh, he can't golf on Thursdays. I think it's bullshit. It's just he happened to have 3 bad rounds, and he knows that he's fine. So Scotty, Rory, those are our takes. I also agree with what you said on Tommy. He's going to mix at an all-time rate this year. Betting Tommy, you'll get sweats. You'll get sweats for sure. Like no more of this backdoor shit. Like Tommy's going to be in the mix this year.
Yeah.
Xander, Fitzy numbers has torched already. It's 26. It was 30 plus earlier. Decky, Russ, Colin, Cam Young, Siwoo, and Bob Mack, and Patrick Cantley. That's everyone 35 and below on DK at the moment. I guess I'll start it off for a little bit. I don't mind Bob Mack. Bob Mack in U.S. Open conditions, Bob Mack in like difficult conditions is where I prefer him. He's plenty long enough off the tee. We saw him get towards that like second tier of golfer late last year in terms of pricing, and he's kind of drifting back towards the middle now. So maybe buy it early because once it happens, it's going to be there, and you're like, oh, I should have got Bob Mack early. So I think this is a fine price for Bob Mack in a field like this, and specifically the conditions that we're getting. So Bob Mack at 33 is a look for me for sure.
Yeah, I don't love this range. I would like to get to Decky, but the driver scares me, being something that we're looking at. Obviously, like it makes sense for him, a guy who doesn't make a ton of bogeys. He can get hot with his irons, but just looking at what he's done off the tee, and especially if you bake in distance, it's kind of hard to get behind somebody like Hideki. Obviously, Cam Young is interesting. You can get a 40 to 1 on him. which I hate to bring him up every week, but it's like he was one of our guys heading into the year. We talked about distance at the top of the show, obviously. His shorter irons, wedges kind of rate out pretty well for me overall. So Cam Young might be a spot that I actually get to here in the 30s, 40s.
Yeah, you mentioned the Twitter thread I posted earlier. There's two golfers in the entire field who have, in their last 10 rounds, spiked enough times on with distance and spiked enough times with approach in terms of the last 10 winners aggregate spikes coming in. I know that was a long-winded thing, but it is Cam Young and Scotty Scheffler, the only two golfers in the field to have the incoming spikes that the past 10 winners have shown. So I totally agree with you there. I think he's going to be a popular selection this week, rightfully so. Going down a little bit, Ben Griffin, Harris English, Victor Hovland, Jake Knapp, Ludwig is still there, Chris Gotterup, Sam Burns, Kurt, Ricky, Mav. That's basically everyone from 50 and below, and then from 50 and above. So who are you thinking there?
Jake Knapp rates out really well for me. I'm not a huge Jake Knapp guy, especially up in this range. But it's really hard to ignore what he's been able to do with the driver putter mix. So I think he deserves to be in this range, obviously. It's just hard to get there from an outright perspective. It's a mental block that I don't know if I can get over. Like you said, Ludwig's there. Not big enough in my opinion. Gotterup's really interesting. We continue to talk about like, why is he like, I get Jake. I just talked about Jake Knapp as a great example. I get that Jake Knapp's playing great. Gotterup has 2 wins and it's March 2, and he has longer odds than Jake Knapp. I don't know if that's
doesn't make sense.
I don't know if that's the books anticipating a Knapp win coming. They don't like Gotterup. I really don't know how to explain that, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, Gotterup has no course history here, but when I was talking to him in Phoenix, he was telling me that he loves living in Florida now. He loves the Bermuda, and he's proven to be able to putt. Like I do like Gotterup, and then conditions wise, like this is absolutely perfect. Let's like nuke it down there for tee, hit that low runner that's just gonna go a mile and stay in the fairway. 42-1, like this is a really really good price for Chris Gotterup. But I also want to touch on Sam Burns at 40-1. He is a golfer who is like all or nothing. Like you're getting that mix or you're getting like a miscut, which I think is fine for we're talking outrights right now.
Yep.
And when he gets it going off the tee, he actually gets it going. He can lead the field off the tee with distance, and he's one of the greatest Bermuda putters. He was number one on putting last year, I believe. So he is a great Bermuda putter. I think it's a great number. Can he beat Scotty and Murray? I don't know. Ask yourself that. But without markets, in other markets, I think Sam Burns is a nice play in this range of golfers.
Yeah, there's a 55 out there with the each way. So we talk about looking at golfers who obviously can contend at really good numbers, and I think Sam Burns kind of fits that mold this week.
Yeah, all right, let's go down a little bit of a range. Justin Thomas is back. He is 50-1 in this field. J-Day, Jordan Spieth, Jacob Bridgman is back since winning. Gerard, Nikolai, I'm not going to name every name. Mike Thorbs. Yeah. Who do you like from like 50 to 100? Then we'll go triple digits after this range.
It was just a click, and it's not going to shock anyone, but I did bet Maverick McNeely when there was a 66 out there. It's down to 60. Looking into it a little further, I guess I'm not as excited about it as I was. I mean, he's consistently been gaining strokes off the tee, but he struggled with the putter at Genesis. Course history isn't really ideal, but again, I like this version of Maverick McNeely. I like what I've seen this year to enough at least to lay a 66-1 with the top 6 each way. You mentioned Justin Thomas coming back. Honestly, a lot sooner than I expected heading into this year, and a lot sooner than most people probably expected. Looks like there's a 66 on him, which is interesting, but at the same time, you would almost think we would have gotten a better number being his first event, and who knows what his intentions are here. Who honestly knows what?
I can tell you actually what his intentions are.
Let's hear it.
And he's not going to win. But last week at TGL, someone's asked him like, "Oh, you're coming back to Bay Hill?" He was like, basically like, "Yeah, I'm coming back, and like hopefully I can just get out there and make the cut and just have put a few good rounds together." Like he's in no mental frame to win a golf tournament right now, rightfully so. But like I did pick up on that. He didn't say it exactly like, "Oh yeah, I'm not here to win," but like that was what he meant. And Yeah, so 60-1. Don't think it's a good number. Don't think it correlates well to any of the finishing positions. I will just wait and see on Justin Thomas. Wish him the best, and
Yeah. And end
hope
of the
we.
day, it's Justin Thomas. So say he's in the mix on the weekend, maybe his mindset changes where it's like, okay, let's ramp it up a little bit. I have a chance to win Bay Hill. I just don't think he puts himself into that situation, and I'm not willing to find out at 66.
Yeah. All right. One more guy before we get to triple digits for me. Ryan Gerard. Remember Ryan Gerard last week? He was the chalk of PGA National. Played fine. Got off to a slow start, but rallied back. Amazing ball striking as always. It's now 3 straight weeks since Pebble where he's had really solid full ball striking off the tee and approach. The driver was a little bit of a mess at Torrey Pines, but horrible short game. No surprise. The short game is less important this week, in my opinion, if he's minting fairways and greens. He is a Florida guy. He does have his best putting splits on Bermuda, but I wouldn't really bank on him to putt well. But I think it's a good number, a good bounce back spot for Ryan Gerard.
I got one more I forgot about. Doing research before odds were out last night. Sepp Straka, there's a 68-1 on. If you look at his scorecard from last year here at Bay Hill, he had an opening round 77, 5 over, borderline dead last in the field. He played the last 3 rounds at 12 under to finish in a tie for 5th. So if he shoots even par in that first round or 1 or 2 over, I mean, he's right in the mix. He kind of forced his way into this tournament, but Straka was a guy that I had my eyes on, and one that I might consider here at that number, almost 70-1.
All right, triple digits. I got one name. This is a smaller field, so like less names in my opinion this week. You can probably get a longer number, but Jonathan Vegas is 775-1. He posted his best ball striking week in a long
That is
time.
the best number.
Since St. Jude of last year. And remember, who can forget when he won Quail Hollow at the PGA Championship? Obviously, he didn't win, but he played really well at a very similar style golf course, long and straight Bermuda. He's got really good course history here. 4 straight made cuts, nothing insane, but Jonathan Vegas wins on big boy golf courses. I'm not saying he's going to win, but his wins have came on like long, stern tracks, and this is definitely one of them. So get yourself in the mix with a 775-1. Maybe you get a nice little cash out option. So Johnny Vegas, I think, is a great play down the board. Who do you have triple digits before we wrap it back around?
Sound like a broken record, but I bet Michael Thorbjornsen again, coming off of a missed cut at the Cognizant. I told you before we went live, it keeps happening where I bet a guy one week and then they are in contention or in the mix or win, like Nico last week, the week after. So I don't want that to happen again. It's not like I don't bet Thorb every single week anyways, but I'm not letting that happen. So I'm not going to pass on a 100-1 Michael Thorbjornsen probably until he's 50 years old. So I like the 100-1, taking the top 6 each way. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, no, I agree. And he's one of the guys I'm really excited to see tomorrow because the approach play has been a little weak, but he led the tour in greens and reg, I think, last year. We know that's a part of his game that is solid. So hopefully I see some good things with the irons, but I think it's a great number on Mike T. All right, let's bring it back around. Let's go 2 outrights, 2 positionals. And do we have top 40s this week, or do they have to be top 20s for the one and done?
I think there will eventually be top 40s, but for the time being, it's going to have to be top 20s.
20s starting at where in the odds?
We could probably do around 80.
All right. What we mean by this is we're doing our top 20/top 40 one and done, where we can only use one golfer per year in a positional one and done battle. I'm currently up 3-1 versus Dom. The weeks that we don't have a winner, neither of us hit because they're kind of long shots. But so 2 outrights and then the one and done pick and then another positional. So I will start. I will go with Bob Mack 33-1 as my first outright. Subject TBD. Could get to Scotty on Wednesday, but for now we'll go with Bob Mack to lead the show off.
All right. I am going to go with the guy that I bet first, Maverick McNeely at 66-1. Like I said, on paper, it doesn't make a ton of sense. Chasing a pretty good number. He's 47, 50 in other spots. So clicked on the 66. Like what Mav brings to the table with the irons, and hopefully he can mix here at Bay Hill.
All right, second guy, outright didn't mention him, 101 Daniel Berger. Berger the driver's been a little bit of a mess, but the approach has been solid. So if he can find a way to hit fairways this week, he could be a guy that spikes on approach, and we know what he can do on Bermuda, although it's not been great of late, but I think it's a good number. I like Berger in difficult conditions, so he's my final outright of the week.
All right, I'm going to go with a guy that I didn't bring up, but I actually did bet. We didn't even talk on this guy, but another guy returning for the first time, Sungjae Im at 150 to 1 with the top 6 each way. For as long as I've been doing this, I've been targeting Sungjae Im at difficult courses. Had a little bit of a wrist injury. Hopefully he's good enough to come back. I mean, it was kind of under the radar, posted on Instagram like right when the season started with a brace on. So we'll know right away what Sungjae we're getting, and at 150 to 1, I'm willing to find out as opposed to JT. So
yeah, he was going to be my top 10 pick. So I absolutely love that for sure.
Yeah.
Sungjae loves firm and fast conditions, and hopefully he is in good spirits. I will definitely be talking to Willie tomorrow and seeing what the vibes are in the Sungjae Im camp. But I'll pivot my top 10 to Corey Connors plus 450. The ball striking is not in good spirits right now, but it really has nowhere but up to go, and he's got amazing course history. Just like you said with Sungjae, Corey Connors in difficult conditions is something that usually pans out well. So he's going to be my my positional of the week.
All right, I'm going to go with a guy who does not do well in difficult conditions, but let's go with Nikolai Højgaard. I'm going to take his top 10 at plus 510. Rates out well for me. We know that the distance is there. Can have spike weeks like you kind of talked about at the top of the show. So I'm going to go with Nikolai Højgaard at 5 to 1 for a top 10.
All right, one and done time. I'm going to go with a guy. It's going to be top 20, but I probably could get a plus money on him for the top 40 as well. But for the sake of the game, he has to finish top 20. That's going to be Joel Damon. Joel Damon coming off of a great week at PGA National, did not make anything, but the dude, it was just fairway green, fairway green, fairway green. Has a top 7 already at Torrey Pines this year, a top 4 in his career at Bay Hill. So he's proven he could do it on difficult tracks, and I just love where he is right now. He's not the longest guy in the field. He's not going to win, but he's got it slotted, and he's doing what we're asking for a top 20.
I am going to go with Keith Mitchell. He rates out extremely well for me, no matter how far back I date it. Off the tee, he's been extremely strong, especially at Bay Hill. He's gained over 2.5 strokes in each of the last 5 times that he's been here. Has a couple spike finishes. He had a T5 in 2020, a T6 in 2019, T24 last year. He has consistently played really well. So I'm going to go Keith Mitchell for my top 20 one and done.
There you have it. Those are the picks. Those are the one and done options, or whatever, the outrights. But Bay Hill this week, very excited. Should be fun. I hope you guys had a great start to the Florida swing, and hopefully we can give you a sweat this week. Dom, as always, thank you for joining me, and I'll catch you guys next week. Peace out.